on Capitol Hill. Congressman, thanks very much for joining us. It does look like the White House is going to say that James Comey was not telling the truth on two critical issues. One of letting Flynn go, and the second of being asked for loyalty by the president.
They're welcome to dispute that. He's raised the possibility that there may be tapes. We'll all be interested in hearing those tapes if they exist. The fact is that Comey's testimony was very convincing. And if Comey's testimony is true, that the president said, let Flynn go, and in effect threatened Comey with his losing his job if he failed to do so, that is obstruction of justice, a high crime and misdemeanor under the United States Constitution.
But actually, on the critical issue of whether there was criminal activity on behalf of the president, James Comey effectively didn't pass any judgment on that at all, did he, today? He said he wasn't going to talk about collusion, and it wasn't up to him to talk about obstruction of justice.
Well, what we learned in Watergate is it's not the crime, it's the cover-up. Now, Comey has declined to act as a lawyer and tell us how the facts, as he related them, apply to the law and whether they constitute a violation of U.S. criminal law. And the even bigger question is, do they constitute high crimes and misdemeanors? While Comey is a lawyer, he wasn't there as a lawyer. He was there as someone to explain the facts. The facts are that if you threaten someone with losing their job for the purpose of halting an investigation, what Michael Flynn was doing, that is obstruction of justice. Now, in this case, it may have nothing to do with collusion with the Kremlin before the election or affecting the election, and may have everything to do with Flynn's decision not to reveal accurately his statements after his discussions after the election with the Russian ambassador, or the money he got from both Russia and Turkey. But whether it's obstructing justice vis-a-vis collusion or obstructing justice vis-a-vis Comey violating the law after the election, the answer is still the same. Obstruction of justice is a high crime.
Mr. Sherman, this has been a two-day hearing. We had some of the top intelligence officials before the Senate Intelligence Committee yesterday, and the Director of National Intelligence, Dan Coats, was asked specifically whether the President had asked him to get Mr. Comey to back off, and he refused to answer the questions in an open hearing. So is it possible that the Democrats will start to go after some of these other top security officials to find out whether that in fact did happen, as was reported in the Washington Post?
It will be somewhat difficult for us to call the shots since we're in the minority in both the House and the Senate. But yes, indeed, we should get first classified and then unclassified information from Mr. Coates and others about what Donald Trump tried to do or didn't try to do to stop this investigation. But we have the key element already. We have the threat to Comey's job if he didn't halt the investigation of Michael Flynn. We don't have to show that there were innumerable acts of obstruction of justice. One is enough.
Okay, Congressman Sherman, thank you very much for joining us on this very busy day on Capitol Hill. Well, James Comey today accused the